We have two experience stories this month, which both relate to the end-of-life care we commission from Woodfield 24 Care Services, a not-for-profit social care organisation. Pauline Stevenson, a social care assessor from Cusworth, starts by sharing her thoughts on the care Woodfield 24 staff provided to a retired policeman husband, Bill, who died at home in November last year, aged 69.
Unfortunately, Bill had got bowel cancer, and we'd been caring for him in his terminal state for the last couple of months, and then it got to a stage where I was getting really run down. We'd got my 2 daughters and my 5 grandchildren helping. Bill were refusing to have any outside care, but then the Macmillan nurse came, Nicole, and she said, if Pauline doesn't get some help, she said this to Bill, if Pauline doesn't get some help soon, she's going to be in hospital and you won't be able to stay at home, Bill. So he relented and he agreed to some care. And then the carers arrived and they introduced themselves. What marvellous people. I can only say that they were angels, and I ended up with pleurisy. They weren't just caring for Bill, they were caring for myself as well. And as Bill deteriorated, he started to deteriorate rapidly. There was nothing too much trouble for them. They were coming in, smiley faces, always immaculately lovely and clean, badges showing, always introduce themselves whenever I opened the door. Oh, it's me and so, and they were just part of our family, if you like. They never took charge. They always said to me and Bill, what would you like us to do, other than what they were doing ordinarily, the caring side of it, the changing him and that sort of thing, changing bedding, because he got rather nasty towards the end. And they treated us as a family. Like my daughters, like I say, my grandchildren would be here, and they were talking to them, and then they'd come in. I'd leave them to get on with Bill at one stage, and then they'd come in and say, right, we've finished, do you want to come and check? And I used to say, I don't need to check, I know it'll be fine. But Bill, he absolutely loved them coming in. He changed. Bill was a retired police officer, so I was a very proud man, and he never, even with me, he never sort of stepped over the mark. He always wanted to keep himself independent. But once he met these girls, he just said, they're lovely. When are they coming? What time are they coming back? And they came mornings and evenings to start with. Then it increased on that last week to 3 times a day, because he was really, really getting bad. He was very incontinent, and even though he was really ill, he'd got a tumour in his rectum, last off, as well as tumour in his lungs, liver, bowel, his lymph glands. He was really poorly. He never complained, and as soon as he saw girls, his eyes lit up, and he used to say, oh, here they are, here's my pals. And I mean, towards the end he was sort of going semi-conscious. But all I can say about Woodfield 24 is that they're just fabulous. I just never knew that I could have so much help. And I've dealt in the care sector, and I have seen other care agencies, but these girls are outstanding, and they're more professional. They're finished off. You can see they've had good training, but they've also got empathy and that caring side in them. They're all, you can see they've obviously gone for a job because they want to do that job, and all I can say is I praise them, and I call them angels. Yeah.
Now we hear from financial advisor Dave Harle from Adwick Lee Street on how he made contact with Woodfield 24 and of the care his 80-year-old mum, Joan, is currently receiving from their staff.
Recently, a few months ago, her health deteriorated quite rapidly. The community matron had already made us aware that this was happening and gave us the warning signs, and had talked about Mum going possibly into an hospice or some sort of care support. Very quickly, Mum, who had been in a chair, became very, very immobile. I could support her on the chair, I could get her to the bottom of the stair lift, but then actually getting her to the toilet was quite an issue up the stairs. I quickly realised this was not good, so I put a call out to the community matron. She was on holiday, or that's what I was told. It wasn't necessarily true. She was poorly, apparently. So Mum's health deteriorated that badly. I was waiting for the matron to come, so I decided that actually I'll stop work that day. Let one of my sisters let the other family know, so they immediately stopped what they were doing. And so for a few days we were trying to cover it 24/7. After a week of that, I was almost at my wit's end. Luckily for us, the occupational therapist came on the Wednesday the following week, and I'd had people sleeping in rooms and everything. It was really bad. We were just living in the hope that somebody would come and recognise this. The occupational therapist came, and she was quite shocked by the state of what we were trying to do and managing it 24/7 without any care or structure, because we didn't know what to do. Anyway, the occupational therapist, what can I say, was absolutely tremendous. Stayed at home, and within 2 hours of phoning, bless her, goodness knows what the phone bill was like, we'd got my mum able to go into St John's Hospice, which again, tremendous place, and they were really good for a temporary basis. Occupational therapist then contacted me about having care, and St John's Hospice said, your mum can't go on without having a care package, which is when I first met the people from Woodfield 24. I met them and my sister did as well, and I have to say it was like a breath of fresh air, and I could feel the stress being lifted away. I'd had some experience of carers in another county, shall I say, and they'll remain nameless to protect the innocent, and my experience of carers was not exactly, I think it was a very loose word, caring. I think if they came in for 2 or 3 minutes, ticked the box and just got out, and that was my experience, and I feel guilty for actually admitting that, but it's true, and I did experience that personally. But Woodfield 24 came in, and it was like a breath of fresh air, and although I was here for the first day when they were there, really just to reassure myself and my mother, I couldn't believe how very quickly and how professional and fantastic they were. And they come in at set times, they're absolutely phenomenal. So professional, so caring as well. They are an absolute credit to NHS. And I was only then realised that actually they were relatively new. It'd been a new setup. It's not-for-profit organisation, and I'm just blown away by how good they are. What they've given us as a family is they've given my mum back her respect. They've given her back her self-esteem. She feels a little bit more back in control, not physically, but she can. Even when they come in and talk to her and ask her what she wants, she can talk to them. Mum's got good communication skills. She can tell them exactly, and nothing is ever too much trouble for them. You know, they must have the patience of saints. They've probably got more patience than I have as well, because I couldn't run around like they do, but they are great.
Brought to you by Doncaster Clinical Commissioning Group.